amazing people. My name is Michelle and welcome to Amazingly Enough. So I know that it's been so long since we've made any videos for you guys, but then I had to make this one because just so many DMs about how to write an SOP, tips and tricks on SOP, what is an SOP, and can you give me your SOPs for reference? So I just thought this video had to be out there for everybody who's trying to write a good SOP. So for those who don't know what an SOP is, and for those who are still under the research process on how to come to Canada and the requirements, once you do get your offer letter, this is of course one of the requirements. It is called the Statement of Purpose. The Statement of Purpose is what is a letter or where you are justifying why a certain country's government should let you in. So basically, an SOP is only written after you've gotten your offer letter from your college. So the college has given you the offer letter. Now the country has to let you in. And so you are asking the country to give you this permission to come, stay in their country for a few years so that you can complete your studies. It's you justifying the purpose of your visit to their country. Okay, so if that is clear, I will go ahead and start with the tips and tricks for the SOP. So the first thing that I want to say, just like I did tell you guys during tips and tricks for IELTS, is that once you get an idea, don't just start writing it. Don't just ever start writing your essay, or in this case, your letter or statement of purpose. Because what's going to happen is you're going nowhere. You're just writing off an idea and you didn't plan on how to write it. So the first trick or tip for to write a good SOP is to make sure that you have a good plan. Planning requires a lot of research. This research, basically, I would say, please do a good research on what you're going to write in the SOP. And a good research would mean why you're writing this SOP. Should that SOP have your college requirements? You basically will write about your college, right? So you have to write about the college requirements. What is the college going to be able to give you? What are you going to gain from the college? What do you have in you that makes you eligible for that college? Why you require this and stuff like that. So basically the first step would be planning and research. So content is key, guys. If you don't have good content, there's nothing you can do. You're just going to be blabbering and you want to have a good SOP. Okay, second point is how you portray your content. Now that you've done your research, you basically need to have you need to portray this content. How would you portray it? You want to make it look good. You want all the points, all the good points there. You want to make it attractive. You want to grab the reader's attention. These people reading your SOP are lawyers, that work for the government here in Canada, and they are going through your SOP and they go through so many SOPs. So you want to make sure you grab their attention. They are able to read the entire SOP. They want to read it because it's a long letter, right? So basically your second most important step is how you portray your content. So talk about the benefits. Talk about how beneficial it is for you. Talk about what you take from it, why it is for you, why this college, why this program, etc. So you want to portray all these points that you've researched in a very good way. My third point for you guys is divide in paras, and do not forget to show coherence between these paras. What I mean by dividing in paras is if you just write a huge letter, no one is going to be able to read it. It will get boring. It will get monotonous to anybody. Even you, when you will proofread it, you won't be able to proofread it happily because it's so huge. So divide it into paras. I think the most, it depends on you how many paras. I think I went for like a few paras, guys. Like I made sure that equal paras. Go for minimum 3, maximum 5 paras, I guess, but try to make sure all of these paragraphs are have like almost equal word count, and make sure that they are in coherence with each other. What I mean by coherence is, if you're joining the college and you're saying I want to come visit Canada because I want to study here, don't start off your first line with I will study here and become this and become that and I will use it for my future, my career. No. If you do that, then there's no coherence. You want to start from the start. So if you're telling your story, guys, you're going to talk about you, your likings, what made you choose it, what are the decisions, what were the steps on how you reach that endpoint. So kind of keep that coherence, right? Like your childhood, then your midlife and stuff like that. Base just the same. Keep coherence. Don't that's why planning is so important. Planning will definitely help you keep coherence. And another thing that happens in planning is you will know exactly what to write in what para when you plan the coherence, right? Okay, now fourth point is don't forget to mention your achievements, but don't forget to also mention your failures. And what I mean by this is when I mentioned the point, my second point is how you portray your SOP or your content. We are looking for content. So your achievements, everyone may have achievements, may not have achievements, but for sure, every human has failures. Because if you don't have failures, then you're just a robot. So use these failures in a positive way. Keep the entire SOP very positive, but use your failures as a part of your content, but in a positive way. So what I did was I told them, I spoke about me, I spoke about my previous education, and then what ignited my spark for doing this. So I told my biggest failure was that I took up engineering, sole purpose being I was following a herd of sheep. And that was my biggest failure. My biggest failure was not thinking and trying to recognize what I really like and what my real interests, were. So I told them that because of that failure, I made a decision on what I liked. During my engineering, a few elective subjects sparked my interest in management subjects, and I really wanted to, completely change my career, my field. And so I used that failure as a positive side for me, and I would say you guys should do the same as well. Then stick to word count and make sure you have good grammar. So when I say stick to word count, I think I must have written around 750 words, max 1000 words. I wouldn't go beyond that. That would be huge. But stick to a word count. Whatever it is for you, stick to it. And, sticking to a word count helps you keep those paras aligned, help you plan well. So planning is very important because it will also help you stick to that word count and keep your grammar good. The person reading it is from a native English speaking country. So keep your grammar good. I'm not saying you need to be fancy, but whatever you're doing, make sure your tenses are correct. Make sure your punctuations are correct. Because if you don't have the right commas and full stops at the right spot, then somebody reading it will not understand your tone. So basically, to make them understand your tone, it's very important that you have good grammar, good punctuation. So I suggest that you do the same as well. So make sure you stick to a word count and keep up with good grammar. Now, another point for you guys, this is the sixth point, and that this is the most important point. All of you guys keep asking me to send my SOP to you guys, and I always say I'm sorry, but I won't be able to do that. Only reason being, chances are you will be rejected. Plagiarism is a big no here. So make sure that your SOP is unique. I made sure that my SOP is unique. The only way I could do that was because I wrote my life story. I wrote my experiences. I wrote what engineering felt for me. I wrote how I suddenly liked management subjects. I wrote about my family. I wrote about my work experience, my how I worked for my in a business. I worked in IBM. So I just put down all of these, and I know for sure my SOP was unique because it was my story, and I would say you guys do the same as well. Do not try and use anyone else's SOP, because if your SOP is not unique, the software will recognize. Guys, lawyers have read so many SOPs. you're not fooling anybody. So keep your SOP unique and do not copy. And next point is the seventh point is keep it comfortable. So I did mention that make it attractive, portray it in a very positive way, try to grab the attention of the reader and everything. But guys, when you do that, make sure that you don't go beyond your capabilities. Okay, so what I mean when I'm asking you to write good grammar is, don't use words that you don't know how to use in a sentence, right? So I would say start off a great introduction, have a good quote in my introduction, and that's like a risk I'm taking, and I will make sure that I put my effort to make sure it's good. But I would, I know that you can end off with a good, strong conclusion as well. What I did in my case, I kept my conclusion really simple because I put so much effort in making sure every para of mine is perfect that I didn't want to screw up my conclusion. I kept it really simple. You can end up with a really strong conclusion or keep it simple, but whatever you do it in your comfort zone. Don't try to play with words that you do not know. Don't try to go so strong that you just end up, it shouldn't look like, that SOP is made up, right? It should be yours. So keep it good, keep the quality good, but keep it only to your comfort level. Don't go beyond it, because chances are we don't know how to use the word and we will ruin all the effort that we put in the entire SOP. Last but not the least, guys, this is very important, and that's proofreading. Make sure you proofread your SOP, make sure your tenses are correct, your punctuation, your grammar is correct, and get somebody else to read the SOP for you. This will make this will help you know what it feels like for somebody else to read it. Get somebody who's very honest and who really wants to help you. Let them give you good, honest feedback, telling you, okay, it was easy to read, it was boring to read, maybe you want to check your grammar here. So I would suggest get you proofread it and get somebody else to proofread it. So these were all the points that I wrote down for you guys today in the morning, and I hope it was really helpful, and I wish you guys best of luck for your SOPs. Also, thank you for watching this video. Until the next time, happy living, guys.